What is going on, everyone? The Houston Texans have everyone's attention. It was day 2 of NFL free agency yesterday, and general manager Nick Caserio orchestrated two big moves, one on the offense, one on the defense, and by doing these moves, he sends a message to the league that the Houston Texans are ready to win now. One of those moves, signing four-time Pro Bowl edge rusher Danielle Hunter to a 2-year, $49 million deal. 48 of it will be fully guaranteed, and according to Patrick Storm, Hunter took less money to come home to Houston and compete for a Super Bowl under DeMeco Ryans. The Morton Ranch kid, he is home. Danielle Hunter coming off of a season of 16 and a half sacks, and now you are pairing him with Will Anderson Jr., the reigning Defensive Rookie of the Year. The Houston Texans are going to have a top 5 edge rushing duo this season, ladies and gentlemen. Book it. The other move, trading for running back Joe Mixon, a Pro Bowler in 2021. Now, Joe Mixon was set to be released, but Nick Caserio did not want to get into another bidding war, lost Saquon Barkley to the Eagles, lost Christian Wilkins to the Raiders. He decided to make a trade, which was only a 7th round draft pick to acquire Joe Mixon. If you want your guy, go out and get your guy. And we talked about a dynamic running back being needed on this Houston Texans offense to make them one of the best units in the NFL. With these moves, the league should be scared. Guys, I cannot believe this is the type of free agency that we are having. Let me know how you feel in the comments down below. Welcome, everyone, to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calvillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content, and this episode was brought to you by my friends at Underdog Fantasy. Download the app, use my promo code 713HOU for a first-time bonus deposit up to $100. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. I want to give a shout out to general manager Nick Caserio. The amount of slander he got in day 1. He said, watch this. And the notion that the Houston Texans are not aggressive in free agency, they will never make the big move, should be dead based off what happened last night. Danielle Hunter and Joe Mixon are game changers. Both sides of the ball got better. With Joe Mixon, I believe he is the final piece that is needed on this Houston Texan offense to be one of the best offenses in the NFL. I keep on bringing this up. The Houston Texans were a top 15 offense with a horrible run game. They only had 3 100-yard performances all year by Devin Singletary, and all 3 were victories. So I have no doubt that Joe Mixon can get this Houston Texan offense going, and we see things that we've never seen before. Mixon is a threat on the ground, a threat through the air. You haven't had a type of running back like this since Arian Foster. I'm not even going to lie to you. Joe Mixon, 27 years old, still a lot of football left, and I think we are going to see multiple 1,000-yard seasons. Dare I say a Pro Bowl for Joe Mixon in a Houston Texans uniform, but this was a home run move by Nick Caserio. What Danielle Hunter? I mean, you talk about blockbuster move, 2 years, $49 million, 48 guaranteed. You gave him the bag, but by bringing in Danielle Hunter, you sent a message to the fans, you sent a message to the rest of the league that I am trying to compete this year. I am trying to go to my first ever AFC championship, my first ever Super Bowl appearance. When you add players like Joe Mixon and Danielle Hunter, those dreams can become a reality. I already said it. You have your foundation pieces. You have CJ Stroud. You have Tank Dell. Maybe it's Nico Collins. On the defensive side, Will Anderson Jr., Derek Stingley, Christian Harris. What the Houston Texans needed were weapons, and that's exactly what they got yesterday. Danielle Hunter is one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. 16 and a half sacks, and this dude is a sack artist. 10 and a half last year. 2021 was injured, right? This is his only injured season of his long NFL career. Appeared in 7 games, but had 6 sacks in those 7 games. 2019, 14 and a half sacks. 2018, 14.5 sacks. And you are now adding this type of production to the Houston Texans defense that already has the defensive rookie of the year in Will Anderson Jr. I have a prediction that both Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter are going to have double-digit sacks this year. Then you also added in Danico Autry in day one, and what did he do with the Tennessee Titans? Oh, just 11.5 sacks. And there are more moves to be made. We are not sure who is going to be the other starting defensive tackle next to Danico Autry, because the Texans just traded away Malik Collins. Breaking news if you haven't heard. Nick Caserio is not done. And once again, I applaud him. Because the overreaction to not getting Christian Wilkins, to not getting Saquon Barkley on Monday was crazy. Those Twitter spaces were loud, calling for Nick Caserio's job. One of the worst GMs in the NFL. For them not being aggressive in day one, this is the reason why CJ Stroud is going to request a trade in a couple years. Those were the type of conversations that we're having because day one wasn't what we expected. But Nick Caserio said, watch this, and he brought in two top-tier players, Joe Mixon, Danielle Hunter. They are Houston Texans. Let's rock and roll. Let's go to the Super Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. For more Houston Texans content, follow me for more. Go Houston. Have a very blessed day.